mean to you? Black is beautiful mean to me is no apologies, accepting who I am and or accepting who we are, and that even though we may have changes that we may want to make about ourselves, we do keep in mind that all we have to do is just enhance it so that our natural beauty will continue to glow and pop.
Yes. For me, what my Black is beautiful means is just that, first off, when you walk into a room, know you belong there. Know that the hair on your head is beautiful. That's another thing, right? And also knowing that you are wonderfully made, that you were created by God, the creator of heaven and earth and everything. So you are made exactly the way you were supposed to be.
To me, I like to break it down, starting with the Genesis. Out of the dark came the light. What was the dark? The dark was the universe, pure blackness, made out of straight carbon. When you look at your very essence, you're made out of that same carbon. So if the universe is beautiful, you are intrinsically beautiful yourself. And what a lot of people think of, they think of carbon the outside thing, something we have to get rid of out of our body in order to bring in oxygen. But I like to think of carbon like coal. You put enough pressure on that coal, and a diamond is produced.
Wow, thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. One of the other questions we would like to ask you is, in this industry, where we see a rise in natural hair versus chemical hair, what are your thoughts about that? And is it bad for us or good for us? What do you think?
So back in 2014, I always would get perms. I'm talking about excessively. And in 2014, I had to cut all my hair off because the results from those perms burnt all my hair off. And so that's what really started my journey into the pop into skincare or natural skincare. And at that time, it wasn't really as prominent as it was now. I didn't really have the education that I have now. And so now that you see in this generation that is an oversaturation of natural skincare products, one thing I learned is that not everything is truly natural. Like even reading the ingredients, sometimes you got like a word that's like 50 words long, and you're like, what the world is that? And so it's just all of those things that are out there is not really good for you, and it kind of sucks because we're living in this world where everything is just it's gamified, and so we really have to try to hone in on going back to our roots. At the end of the day, I think going back to our roots is what's going to keep us, saturated and preserved for years to come.
So my mom would not let my sister and I get a perm. So when I turned 18, I was like, I'm gonna get a perm. So I actually didn't get a perm at first. I got like a S curl, like something to define my curls. I did that, all my hair fell out. I did, it wasn't a Brazilian blowout, it was something else, and I can't think of the name right now. I've done that before to straighten my hair fell out. Then I did a curve. I know y'all probably thinking, why didn't you stop? I didn't stop because I wanted this straight hair, which I did not have naturally straight hair. And so I got the perm, my hair fell out. So then I was like, all right, I'm just gonna luckily it grew back. And so I was like, I'm just gonna leave my hair the way it is. Like, this is how God made me. It's nothing wrong with my hair. It's just letting the world know that we embrace our hair. We embrace our natural hair. And also as Black people, embracing other Black women, other Black men with rocking their natural hair, their dreads, their froze, whatever it is, because our hair is beautiful.
When I think about it, the first thing I think about is one thing that we all can agree on. Slavery did a number on us. It took us so far out of the norm that, look at us today. We're trying to get back in 2024, trying to get back to our natural state. Yeah. We have been ran amok, we've been bamboozled, and now we're trying to find our naturalness. That is the most beautiful thing I can think of. Because when you get back to your naturalness, you're back to what God made you. And once you're back to what God made you, no man can control you. That's right. And that's what we're fighting every day.
Thank you for that. I remember my first perm. I was like 16 years old, and I begged my mom to let me have a perm. And she was totally against it, but because she didn't want to hear me crying anymore about it, she gave in for me to get my perm in my hair. And I regret it because I didn't understand just how the natural of my hair, how it could be so healthy without adding all of the other chemicals and stuff to my hair. So I can say that I truly regret it, which is going to bring me to my next question to you all. What resources did you utilize to start your own business?
So I may sound a little bit old school. I started, well, back in 2014. I had already went to a skin formulating school, and when I went to that school, I learned a lot, but I didn't apply it because, like I said, I didn't know what natural products were. I didn't know how to use them. I didn't know any of that. I've always just been in the chemically induced world. And so I just started reading books. I started looking at podcasts, which I can't wait to hear about your podcast as well. But I started just honing in really on books because people can tell you, oh, go to YouTube or go to online. A lot of those stuff is gimmick. A lot of those things are made in a way that they shape it in a way that they know that you're gonna buy those things, but they know it's not gonna help you or heal you. And so I think really going back to the books and really like finding testing and trials and errors. Those are the things that I have done that has kept me, in the running where I'm at today.
Sure. What resources did you utilize to help start your business?
Okay. So, resources that I used, my own funding. I gave myself a scholarship. I just decided to go for what I had a passion of. I love the beauty industry. I grew up with my sister's a hairstylist, so I used to fake like I was sick so I can go with her to work because I knew she would pick me up from school. So I would just sit there and like watch her do her clients and things like that. And it inspired me because I would see her talking to people, working with people, listening to their concerns. And so I was going to school for music education, and I decided I wanted to make a career change, and I decided to go into aesthetics because at the time I was working at Clinique. I was learning a lot about skincare, and there was a school that opened in the mall. It was a Aveda Institute, and they gave you 10% off of your tuition if you worked in the mall. So I said, okay, I'm gonna go, I'm gonna do it. So I did it, followed my dreams, my career, and here I am 13 years later, still doing it, and just knowing the things that we're given, no matter how small it is, whatever you're given, just like in the Bible it talks about two fish, the 2 fish and the loaves, what happened with that child just giving what they had. You can start anything with a little bit of something. So use the little that you have.
Well, for me, my motivation started in 92, 93 when I was 11, 12 years old, and children are just the worst. I have eczema, and back then I had it horribly bad. I'm talking about to the point where you didn't even know if I was African American. I looked that white. And the nicknames that came up when I was, it was enough to motivate me to fix that. So my number one resource though has always been my elders. Because my great grandmama put me up on black soap and shea butter when I was that age, and that solved my problems, and it kept me so good that even when I stopped using it for over a decade, I still was good. My second resource is always going to be Africa, because where you going to get your resources from? You're going to get them from Africa, no matter what. And once I learned how to use those resources from Africa to be able to keep my skin good, I knew this was something everybody else got to know, because they got Pixent, Skyrizi, all these topical creams, all these injections, and at the end of the day, what is it doing to your body internally? I didn't like that. I'm as natural as you can get. You can see it right now. My son used to hang on my heel when he was young. That's how strong it is, because I got rid of those chemicals. So when I learned that this is what I needed, these are the resources that I need to keep my body good and that it can help other people, of course I have to get the word out there now. So I got my own scholarship, gave myself a loan because I was going to pay myself back. And I started getting it out there. I got the products together. But my final resource is you all. Because I needed that feedback. What works for you? What don't work for you? What kind of skin you have? What kind of hair you have? By hearing that, I was able to actually create some fantastic products that is going to benefit anybody, no matter the skin complexion, but especially us, because we are built from the same ingredients that my stuff is built from. So all it is doing is just replenishing in your body what is living. So y'all are my greatest resource. Thank you.
I love that. Thank you so much. I was just thinking about, as he was talking about, when growing up and what our ancestors, would do during that time. And I would think about castor oil. Yes. Castor oil is something that oh my goodness, my mom would come in there with that castor oil and we would run the other way. Yeah. But, and my dad would use something called yellow root and he would boil that, and I'm telling you, we didn't get sick though. And those things were very natural and helped us so much. So getting back to the root, of it is necessary, which is my next segue to a lot of times we have image issues as Black women about our hair. We, in society, it's about the longer your hair is, you have short hair, you have natural hair, then that goes toward your image, So what advice or what would you say in your field of expertise would be the number one tip that would help us as Black women? And Black men.
Well, I'm gonna say this before I say the tip. It took me myself. It took a very long time to hone into my own acceptance of who I was. I grew up with low self-esteem. I didn't really gain any of that until I got to college, and now that I have it, nobody can take that away. But one thing I will tell people is that, when you find out who you are and when you become the reflection of who you are, people are going to see that, and people are going to always see the genuineness. They're going to see the fakeness and they're going to see the genuineness. So just be genuine so they can already see it. They can already apply it to whomever they encounter. And then guess what? With God's help, you're going to continue to flourish because, without God, without his help, I would have never overcame what I did. So if he did it for me, he sure enough can do it for you.
For me, I guess it was just realizing that, my brother who went to HBCU, he was the first one who was like, when I would be coloring everybody tan, because I grew up here in Corpus Christi where it's like 1% Black people, And so I'd be in my classroom and I was like, I'm a little Black kid, so I'm like drawing everybody tan. And one day my brother was like, why are you coloring everybody, like people tan? Why don't you make them brown like you? And then it clicked in my mind like, oh, like there's nothing wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with that. And my brother would like talk to me about Nefertiti. Like he would talk to me about things that I didn't know as a child, because watching Disney, like you're gonna see princesses, but you're not gonna see like Nefertiti, right? So he would talk to me about things like that, and that helped me develop this confidence of when I walk in a room, there's nothing wrong with me. Even if I feel insecure, like embrace your Blackness, embrace it. And a scripture that really helped me a lot was I can't think of the exact address, but I just know it says it's not fancy hair, gold jewelry, or fine clothes that should make you beautiful. Your beauty should come from within, the beauty of a gentle and quiet spirit, and it's very pleasing to God. So like how Alex was saying, being genuine, that right there, once you're genuine and you know who you are, and you know what, for me and what my faith, what my father says about me, then it's like nobody can take that away from me. Nobody can tell me anything different. And if they do, I go back to what he says about me and I meditate that over my life.
I look at hair a little differently. How many people ever wonder why y'all hair just stands up on your head? Well, we the only people that do that. Y'all know that, right? We are the only people that do that. Our hair stands up, it defies gravity, and it's light as a feather. How many people know exactly why we do that? Can I get y'all?
We're not equal.
Non-equal beings.
We're not equal.
And with that, you have to talk to the non-equal.
90 years.
And all messages are sent with electricity.
They're antennas.
And then your hair is antennas. So when people say they wake up with a bad hair day, maybe the non-ether is trying to talk to you. And your hair is reaching out to it to get that message. And we end up doing what? Throwing grease right in our hair to lay it down. Missing the whole message. And that's another good point. When you wash your hair, how do you feel? Excellent when you wash your hair, right? Before you put that oil in your hair, don't your hair feel lighter?
Yes.
So the question is, why don't we start listening to our hair instead of trying to control it? A lot of people try to control their bodily functions and don't even know what they're doing. We put stuff in our bodies food-wise that damage us from the inside and we don't even realize it because, well, we haven't been natural in so long that we don't even know what natural even means. We think natural and organic is the same thing. Now, the FDA says, no, it ain't. The FDA says, yeah, we're going to put natural on this, but yeah, we make this. We have to stop doing that. And Mother Nature, God made Mother Nature the way she is because that's all we're supposed to be. And we try to do too much. And when we do too much, we miss out on our blessings. We miss out on that message that we're supposed to be getting, and we're wondering why we're fumbling through life. I mean, everything stems from your diet, and it's going to reach your hair. So the best thing I would suggest is everybody take time to learn your body, learn your hair type, learn your skin type. Once you do this, then you'll be able to communicate with the non-ether yourself. And you wake up with a bad hair day, you're gonna have what's that called when you get that light bulb and I'm sorry. You get that epiphany, you're gonna have a great day. I'm not gonna lie. These past couple of months, I've been out of my own little cycle. Like I was telling Clifton earlier, I haven't been doing the things I need to be doing. I haven't been eating right. I haven't been drinking right. I haven't been sleeping right. I have been depressed. I've been putting stuff in my body that man-made, and I have been depressed. Don't even know why I'm depressed. I know that, but don't know how that's affecting me. I don't know the chemical science behind it. I just know it's real. So, honestly, I mean, I know this is a little past what your question is, but it goes right along with it. When your image is all about what you put in your body, because that's what's going to make your skin, your hair, your eyes, your organs, everything in you glow. And that's what we say at Southside Beauty Care. Your glow starts here.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I would like to open up for questions. Now, I know we have some, so don't be shy about it. Let's ask them some questions.
This is for Jessica, and I'm Thea Kane. I wanted to know or see if you would tell us more about the aesthetics and what services you provide.
So I offer facials, waxing. I'm actually a medical esthetician, so I've worked for doctors before, so I've worked with a lot of different lasers for tattoo removal and all that. However, now I'm going back to the way I was taught in aesthetic school, with focusing more on massage for like stress relief, facial massage, facial techniques to lift the face and to slim the face instead of putting a laser to someone's face to give them those results. Because also being a person of color, which anyone who is, so there's a Fitzpatrick scale, and it's Fitz 1 through 6. Everyone in this room who's African American is a Fitz 6. Anyone who's maybe Indian, Asian, Hispanic, you're a 4 or a 5. So with working with lasers, sometimes we can damage melanated skin. So with being someone who's practiced on myself, as you've heard me say, with terms and chemicals and so I practiced on myself with lasers, and sometimes it didn't turn out right. So I decided, okay, I'm gonna open my own business, and what I want to do is I want to focus on more natural, holistic approaches to give women and men the results that they want without damaging the dermal layer of the skin. So I do facial sculpting, European facial sculpting. I do lymphatic drainage with gua sha stone massage. I do dermaplaning, which is a great way to exfoliate the skin and also remove peach fuzz, for scalp massages, hand massages, and everyone who usually comes in for a facial leaves feeling so just like lightweight. Just a great stress reliever because facials are great for health and wellness. And one of my friends said to me the other day, she said, I don't think women, it's just speaking about women, but men need this too. She said, I don't think women know how much they need facials. Like she said, I thought in my mind a facial was somebody just washing my face. She said, I experienced a facial for the first time and I was like, oh, this is what it is. It's not just some luxury thing that for rich people, because some things we put it like that in our mind. It's not just that, it's for all people, it's for everyone, and my prices are very affordable.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Jessica. As I walk out here hoping that someone else would ask a question, I have a question. With us going into the stores and everyone is trying to capitalize on the natural thing, what is it something that we could possibly look at ingredient-wise to know that that's something that we actually need to stay away from?
I'm sorry. Y'all share.
We don't share.
Okay.
It is definitely plenty of answers to that. I always tell people when you go in to look for things, especially if you're not knowledgeable of the natural world, less ingredients is more. That's what I can tell you. Less ingredients is more. If it's something that you have something from no, you can't. It's already a no. So that would be like the focal point of when you're turning that product over. Less is more.
Stop looking at the label. I don't care who's on the label. I don't care what face they have on that label. Stop looking at that label. That label ain't mean nothing. That person on that label, they took a picture for something else and they bought that picture and snapped it on that label. That person don't even know their face is on that label. Stop looking. That's the first thing I see people when they go in there, they look at the front. They don't turn it around and say, can I even read this? What language is this? Why does that word have 15 syllables? That's the stuff you don't want. That stuff you can't read it, what you get it for? Because I'm gonna guarantee you this, that stuff you can't read was derived from something you can read that God made. And they can't say that this is sunflower oil because they didn't make it. It would be infringing on God's copyright. So if it ain't got God's name on it, or any name that he named it, if you can't read it, leave it alone.
That's right.
Thank you. Does anyone else have any questions out here? No one else? We're good? Okay.
Hello, I'm Erica, and I have questions for you guys. Where are y'all located, and what exactly are your businesses like? Like she was explaining, what exactly Alex and Steve do y'all do?
So I'm not in a brick and mortar. I really do pop-ups around the city. I also do workshops as well, and I also do like private parties. So if you follow me on social media, bypassing the dancing and all the stuff that I do for TikTok, but if you bypass all of that, that's what I do. You can find me at your local pop-ups. I typically try to do like art walks and most so at the bus and just those various things. But I've been really honing in on more workshops and private parties because I really want to understand and really connect with my customers from there. I hope that answered all your questions.
I'm located on Everhart Road in between SPID and McCardle. And I'm in a place called Reset Aesthetics. So that's where I am located at. I do pop-up shops as well at the bus, which is bus downtown Corpus Christi. I think y'all wonder what that is. So I do pop-up shops there as well.
Well, I deal with mainly information. I like to disseminate information. What we sell is skincare products, but my skincare ain't gonna work for you if you ain't taking care of your internal problems. You can eat McDonald's every day and wondering why you why the grease is coming out your face. Well, you got your answer. So that's what we do. We do a lot of information. I just had an interview with Clifton Pope on his podcast, and he was on mine. Man has some great health advice, great health, fitness, wealth, fitness.
Health, fitness, wealth.
Health, fitness, I had it right the first time. And every last one of those 3 words, he encompasses them. And I love having that conversation with him because you don't hear too many people with this information. So we like to get that information out to you. And this is free information. I'm not charging nobody for this information. You can go into my podcast, Revolutionary Hour, hear our interview, write down all the notes you have, and implement it in your life. It won't cost you a dime. When you get that done, then come see us about your skin. Then come see us about your hair. I can't help you if your hair is falling out. You got to be able to take care of the internal problems, and then you'll be great. We're located at 517 Everhart for products, but for the information, Revolutionary Hour, or you can check out Health, Wealth, Fitness.
Health, fitness, wealth.
Health, Fitness, Wealth. My fault. My depression is good. But
You're
yes,
good,
definitely
you're
check
good.
out both of those podcasts for that free information, and you're going to see your life make some major changes.
Thank you all. Will everyone please help me thank this podcast so much for helping us with our black, with our beautiful. Thank you so much. And we are going to have a little brief break until we segue into our next segment. Thank you.
No, seriously, go check it out. It's a great conversation.